But would you rather be in love or would you rather be right? Would you rather have peace or would you rather be right? How can I humble myself? How can I not only humble myself, but how can I make myself represent pure grace and elegance and strength? Because imagine being the one who makes the situation good just by accepting and letting go, letting them be, and loving them. Hi everyone, welcome back to Christine Zabo Ra. We're here in Cannes, France, where I moved, and it's really good to be back. I really want to thank all of you who have stayed with me through this move from Malibu to France. John, Maria, Rose, Mike, there's so many of you, and I want to thank you for holding on, being warriors of awesomeness, while we get through life with grace, with strength, and with courage and hope to be the change that this world can happen. What I want to talk about today is I want to reiterate why we have this life's pie for peace concept. The life's pie for peace concept is because, first and foremost, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. If you could repeat that for me, that would be amazing. 1, 2, 3. There is nothing wrong with me, okay? What there's wrong is with 1 or 2 or 3 of these life's pie pieces. Something in your life that's essential for living your best life is weak, or you haven't mastered it yet, or you need to, get a grip on it, okay? That is what you need to understand, because when you understand that, you realize that it's not about you. It's about fixing something in your life that's fixable, easily fixable. And that's why we're here. We're here to learn the tools that we can repair our lives with. And I'm going to tell you that when I moved to France, before, when I left Malibu, you guys knew me. I was on it. I was mastering all 8 pieces of the pie. And my life was flourishing. Finally, after years of struggle, after a father who committed suicide and I had my own attempt, I couldn't figure it out. I went everywhere around the world to try, and I finally figured it out, and I'm paying that forward. But when I moved to France 2 years ago, my healthy, loving, the piece of my pie that is healthy, loving environment, it shattered. My relationship of others, awareness of others, shattered. My relationship was really challenging, and it threw me down, and I was starting my life over. Imagine at 50 years old, I was starting my life over in a new country with an autistic son who needs a little extra support, my career on the other side of the world, and I wanted to move forward on this project, and I was dealing with someone who culturally and, it was really hard, and it threw me down. And for a long time, for months, I was struggling, really struggling. For those of you who were connected with me and you know who you are on Instagram, and thank you so much, you know the story a little bit that, this was supposed to be a fairy tale. And in fact, it turned out to be just one of life's wonderful learning lessons. And what it taught me the most is my life's pie for peace works. It effing works because I'm here, healthy, vibrant, strong, more with more knowledge than ever before, with more tools than ever before, because I applied these life's pie for peace when I was really struggling. I was like, oh my gosh, I mean, I told you guys I had a wedding canceled 20 hours before the ceremony. That's no joke, okay, with people from all around the world here. And how do you come up from that? You come up by looking at your life's pie for peace and you're going, okay, self-awareness. How did I contribute to what just happened or what's happening in my life? Awareness of others. How can I have compassion for the person in front of me or understand the person in front of me? How can I, have a healthier relationship? Holding on to making sure I was sleeping well and my brain was functioning properly, taking the right, supplements and meditating and being mindful and listening to the tools that we have, like Joe Dispenza, Abraham Hicks, I talk about them in practically every episode. And then, healthy body, getting out in nature and walking and using my dogs to help me do that, or friends, mindful conversations with people, not just friends who you're venting to, but, professionals. I did EMDR therapy, which is trauma therapy for the brain with rapid eye movement and electromagnetic pulses, and it helped reduce the impact of the trauma that I had from that incident. And speaking to Guru Singh, a wise, respected teacher who sees life in a vertical manner and not a horizontal manner. Talking to God, the angels, praying, staying still, not making more noise, but actually being more quiet. When you're in hardship, be more quiet, okay? Don't make it louder, make it quieter. From there, the solutions will find you. Magic. I really believe, and I can authentically say this, that I believe my relationship is better than ever before today because we saw each other at its worst and we're still present, we're still hopeful, we're still committed. That's real love, right? It's easy to love somebody when they're perfect. It's not so easy to love somebody when you know the worst of them. And what I want us to be in this group of people who, many of us have had parents who have committed suicide or know people we love who have committed suicide. Many of us have been so low in despair that we've actually either had ideation of suicide or have attempted suicide, like myself at one point, because all of my life's pie for pieces were completely not mastered, basically. What I want for us is I want us to be the leaders. In fact, it's not that I want us to be, you actually are already a leader if you are watching this. Because I believe that you found this channel for not a coincidence, but because you need to know that you are a leader, that you will rise above the rest, and you will lead with compassion, love, and intelligence for practical tools. That you will heal those who hurt because they're hurting. And yes, I know there's a great movement out there that's let them. Okay, we all heard let them do it, let them do it. And I understand that, and I think that detachment is very important. I also think we can not only let them, but we can love them from afar, close. Joe Dispenza has on his website, he has heart-guided meditations, and he has them in like 15 languages. And you can meditate in your heart, give the energy to someone you love at a distance, and there is a shift that happens. I've seen it. I've had it. Don't knock energy. It's real. So if you don't believe in God, you can believe in energy. And we are leaders to recognize that trauma, addiction, abuse, pain heals itself by awareness of the hurt that the person is going through, whether it's ourselves or somebody else, and having the love and compassion to help move forward. Because if you're struggling with addiction, for example, I was, binge eater and anorexic for most of my young adult life, and it was the number one hardest thing that I had to get through was my eating disorders. The hardest thing to heal, bar none. Binge eating was the worst. And it was when I finally admitted to myself, what am I trying to fill up? What is this food replacing that I'm not having the courage to sit with because I'm constantly wanting to mask it? When I finally realized that it was my abandonment and my fear of being alone, I didn't have to do it anymore. Now it's really hard to break a bad habit like binging. We all know that. Or drinking, or shopping, or relationships, or sex, or scrolling, or TV, or whatever it is. An addiction is hard to break. I mean, smoking, it's horrible. That's why what I believe is you take baby steps to break your addiction. And for me, with the binge eating, I was able to use air popped popcorn with a little olive oil and salt in big bowls to help ease my binging, so that when I felt like binging, I'd make a big bowl of popcorn. It would take me like 45 minutes to get through it. And by then, the satiation of binging was over. I felt full, and I didn't have the bad side effects that you have from regular binging, because I used to eat like a box of muffins and 3 Mexican dinners and 2 gallons of ice cream and on and on and on. Those of you who struggle with binging, you know how ugly it can be. We were talking about Sara Lee frozen cheesecake the other night with a friend, and it was like I used to open my mom's freezer, pull out a frozen Sara Lee, raspberry, strawberry cheesecake and finish the whole thing while it was still frozen. It's like, or those Pillsbury cookie dough rolls, and I cut the roll still raw and baked and eat it. It's like that stuff is addicting and crazy. That's why we want to stay away from food that's processed, stay away from the preservatives, stay away from the excess salts and sugars, because those things have more addiction than crack cocaine. There've actually been studies to say that the preservatives, the chemicals, the salts and sugars that they put in these foods today are more addicting than crack cocaine, and they do it for a reason. Okay, so if you're gonna binge, let's use grapes, blueberries, popcorn, things that are whole foods, that you have the binging without the very, very bad chemical side effects, because you will start to give your brain and body a break, and you will start to be able to heal your brain and body even if you're still working through the addiction, okay? And that's really important for us to know out there. But, the tool that I'd like to give you guys today is, can you open the door to honesty about yourself? What does she mean by that? Can you open the door to honesty about yourself? How about we look at ourselves and we say, let me try to start to see from their perspective. Instead of standing in my story and I'm right. And you know, I was at the airport the other day and my flight was delayed 4 hours, and I was standing at the bar and I wanted to order a hard apple cider. That's a drink that I like when I want to have a drink because I believe in a balanced lifestyle. So I like hard apple cider. It tastes like Martinelli's apple cider, has a tiny bit of alcohol, like a beer, even less. So, and I started talking to a really nice family man. And, you know, we start talking, chit-chatting, and he goes, oh yeah, and we start talking about family. And he goes, oh, my brother. Yeah, my brother, you know, he always thinks he's right. And I had an epiphany, went off in my head. And I was like, wow, we all say that, don't we? We all say that about everybody else. They're wrong, I'm right. But would you rather be in love, or would you rather be right? Would you rather have peace, or would you rather be right? And so I offer this tool for you today to ask yourself, would I rather be right, or would I rather be good? And what do I need to do in self-awareness to make that happen? How can I humble myself? How can I not only humble myself, but how can I make myself represent pure grace and elegance and strength? Because imagine being the one, it doesn't mean, you can still feel that you're right, but you can also be the one who makes the situation good. Just by accepting and letting go, letting them be, and loving them. Not just let them be, but love them. I have a couple of people in my life who I love so much that I don't get a chance to speak to because they've chosen not to. Okay, my brother is one. I love him with all my heart, but we didn't see eye to eye on certain things, important things. And as much as I tried to mend the relationship, he couldn't do it. But I still love him. And I pray love for him. And I am hopeful that one day that relationship will come around. And that's what I want for all of us. Okay, let's just be great, because we can be, and we're here to learn how. So what I also would like you to do is please write in the comments, what do you want to learn? Do you want to learn about body health? Do you want to learn about brain health? Do you want to learn about mastering your mind? Do you want tools on finding a purpose? Tell us what you want, or tell me what you want, because with this project, the Amuse Project, with what I created, I'm going to be coming out with content to serve you, to help you, to teach you. Because I've been studying life for all my life, and I can't wait to give it back to you. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I have these names, wonderful people who follow me on Instagram and who communicate with me popping into my head, and I want to thank you. I even love running into you once in a while. On occasion, I have a wonderful opportunity to see you guys in the real world, and that's such a gift. And I send you a big hug, And we'll see you very soon. Peace out. Mwah.